Okay folks, my name's Chuck Newt, and I'm with the Winking Pig Barbecue, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Hoosier favorite, or an Indiana favorite, which is the breaded pork tenderloin sandwich. And around here, if you own a drive-in restaurant or a bar and you don't serve a breaded pork tenderloin sandwich, then you're just not doing it right, because when I tell you it's an Indiana favorite, I think it's probably the most popular sandwich here in Indiana, probably bar none. Now, me personally, it ranks within the top two. I can go with either the pulled pork barbecue or the breaded tenderloin sandwich. I love them both equally, and I can go with either one of them. Now, something I want to tell you about pork tenderloin. A pork tenderloin, when you go to the butcher, or I should say, if you are a farmer and you take a whole hog to market and you want to have them custom butcher your hog, or if you want to go to the custom butcher yourself and you purchase a whole hog for the freezer or whatever, they're going to ask you, do you want tenderloin or do you want pork chops? Because you can't have both, because they're made out of the same part of the animal. So today I went to the market and I bought a couple pork chops, and I had the butcher there behind the counter. I had him cut the bones out of them, and I'll show you what I had done with it here as we go along. So I'm going to show you how to do the homemade way, and I'm also going to show you how to do the more professional way. And I know a lot of people have never had a breaded pork tenderloin sandwich, and if you take and have your butcher do what I'm going to tell you to have them do, they're going to think you've lost your mind probably, because a lot of places in the country, they've never even heard of a breaded pork tenderloin sandwich. And so just follow along with me, and I'm going to show you the homemade way and the at least semi-professional way. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the homemade method of going about making a breaded pork tenderloin. And so what I've got here is a hunk of tenderloin, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this about ½ inch thick, like so, maybe 2. There we go. Now then, we're going to go ahead and trim these a little bit. Trim that end off like that. And those, I guess, will be dog food for the neighbor's dog. So we're going to set those over. Now we're going to take a piece of plastic wrap, nice long one, and we are going to make some noise here in a minute. I'm going to do this one at a time. We'll set that in there. Flip this over the top, and this is going to keep us from splattering things around as we make some serious noise here. So I'm going to turn the sound down, let you enjoy a little music rather than me pounding. Now, and you can see how much bigger this pork loin has gotten, and as well, you can also see how much thinner it's gotten. So we're going to set those over there. Now then, if you've got a cooperative butcher, you can go to your grocery or wherever you can buy your meat at, and you can go there, and as soon as I can get this paper open, you can go there and buy a couple pork chops, which I've done, and ask the butcher to cut, or actually ask the butcher in the meat case, ask him if you will take a couple pork chops and cut the bone out of the pork chop, and then you have him run it through his cuber like they would a cube steak. The inside of the pork chop, and I'm going to link to this, or I'm going to put a tag up at the top, the larger piece of meat in a pork chop is actually a part of the loin. And like I told you before, if you go and have that hog butchered, you can have either pork chops or loin. You can't have both. So you have him cut out the bone, then run it through his cuber. He ran this through his cuber about 6 times. And there's a couple places where you can actually see clear through it a little bit, a little pinhole here and there, but that's all right. And we're just going to set that over there, and the other one, and then we're going to go about making our breading. All this can go in the trash, and that there, well, actually I'm going to just wrap that up in here and save it for the next door neighbor's dog. Okay folks, so to make our breading, we're going to start with 1 cup of all-purpose flour. There we go. Then we're going to take a cup of yellow cornmeal. Put that in there. Now then, we're going to take about a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of pepper. Maybe. Now I use fine sea salt here, but you can use regular table salt. Won't hurt it a bit. I've told you before, I think, I love black pepper. Now I'm going to take a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And a half a teaspoon of onion powder. My onion powder likes to clump up for some reason, so I kind of got to break it up a little bit. Okay, half a teaspoon of onion powder. So we'll mix this up real good. Now we're going to make our bath, and this is a cup and a half of whole milk, and 1 large egg. Mix that up in there. Now, and first we're just going to dip it right into the flour and cornmeal mixture. Get a little coating that way. Then into the milk mixture, milk and egg mixture. Then we take it back into the breading mixture again. Get it good and coated. There we go, all done. Okay, so we've begun heating up our oil here, probably to about 375 degrees. And as soon as that gets good and hot, I'll be back with you. Okay, now I got a little confession to make. I've taken 2 of those and put them into a plastic bag, and those are going to be in the freezer for another time. We're ready to go here though. That right in there like so, and we're going to let it brown. And I'm only going to do one of these at a time. That is like a 12-inch skillet, and you can see that it really fills it up there. If you want to freeze something like that, you want to make sure that you put wax paper between the 2 pieces of meat there to keep them separated from each other. But they'll freeze just fine. Now, depending on where you go, some of the restaurants around here actually could make them like twice that size. By what they do is they butterfly the pork loin, which means that they've cut it maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. Then they cut it most of the way through so that it folds open. Then they either cube it or pound it like I just did. Now we want this to be a nice golden brown. It's getting there. There we go. Now that has shrunk enough that I think I can put this other one in with it. Careful not to splash when you lay that in there. I mean, you splash it over if you're on a gas stove like this one. It's conceivable you could start yourself a grease fire. So you want to be very careful when you lay stuff into hot grease. By the way, this can be done in a deep fryer as well. And it actually works better if they're frozen because they keep their shape. They don't try to fold on themselves or whatever. And they can kind of be laid vertically into the deep fryer. And so yeah, freezing these works, and cooking them from frozen works very well because they're so thin. It's not an issue because they thaw in the cook so quickly. That's looking right there. Move that over to some paper towel to drain. Okay, very nice. Okay, now you see how stiff that is. That's the way it's supposed to happen. All right, that looks beautiful. We'll just set that over there to drain. And we'll be right back with you. Make sure we turn our burner off. We don't want grease fires. Okay, so here we go. Take one of these tenderloins, we'll put it right there on the bun. I like to put a slice of American cheese on it. A good hunk of lettuce or two, maybe some spinach instead, if whatever I've got handy. I like it either way. A little salad dressing. I prefer salad dressing to mayonnaise, but whatever floats your boat. A little mustard. The sandwich is ready to go. Little dill pickle on the side, maybe. Like that. Some chips. And it's done. It's ready. Okay, folks, so you know what time it is. It's time for me to eat in front of you because it's required. So here we got this nice, great big sandwich. And that is wonderful. And excuse me. And I think you'll really enjoy a sandwich like that. That's why I wanted to bring it to you. So next time you're thinking about it, have your butcher in your store cube you up some boneless pork loin and give it a try. And always, thanks for watching. There's more to come. I got a lot of videos that's in my head that I want to bring to you, but I should say that are in my head that I want to bring to you. And like always, again, hit like and subscribe down below. It helps a lot.